Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So today we're going to talk about the Jetsons. Didn't expect that. My 2022 bingo card is already missing. The video that went out this morning, I mentioned in it that the Jetsons came out in the 60s, and that was the ideal future that people saw. That was the best that they could hope for. My inbox quickly filled up with people telling me I was wrong, that wasn't the case. The reason the Jetsons lived in the sky was pollution, smog, a comet in one of them, and then something about the Flintstones living below them that I really didn't understand, to be honest. A whole bunch. One even saying that, I guess in one show, that the Jetsons said that they'd never even seen the ground. They'd never seen grass. The one that really caught my attention, though, was from somebody who had sent a message in the past saying that they didn't like it when reboots became woke, when they introduced social commentary, when they changed the source material. They should stick to canon. It needs to be respected, so on and so forth. I found all of this really interesting. So, a little bit of history about the Jetsons. The Jetsons first started being produced in 1962. It was produced for about a year. In 1963, they stopped making episodes. It was still on air, reruns, And then it came back in 1985. In the original versions, in the 60s, there's nothing wrong with the ground. Nothing. I know this because there are multiple episodes where they're on the ground. You see the ground in multiple episodes. There's nothing wrong with it. The pollution, the smog, all of that, it got added in reboots later. Social commentary, they got introduced to raise awareness of an issue. The Jetsons became woke. It's what happened. Now, here's the thing, is that we can actually learn something pretty important from this. The first is that there may be people who complain about reboots becoming woke today who were totally okay with it in the past. And that probably has a lot to do with the fact that, generally speaking, people are more accepting of new ideas when they're younger. As we get older, tradition and peer pressure from dead people, that kind of takes over. So generally, people are less accepting of new ideas. There are obvious exceptions to this. So you have that. The other thing that you have is a clear demonstration that it works. If you believe the Jetsons live in the sky because of pollution, you are probably a little bit more in tune to environmental issues. I mean, that makes sense. You might be somebody who would watch a channel like this that talks about it a lot. It shows that when franchises introduce social commentary, it can have impacts decades later. A lot of people, cared enough about this to send a message saying, hey, no, that they lived in the sky because of pollution. It wasn't ideal. Because a lot of times when people are introduced to a reboot, they're not aware of the story before. That social commentary that gets weaved into the plot, that's just the story to them. They're not aware of what occurred before. So it serves as a warning. It shows very clearly, hey, if we don't do something, things could go really bad, drastically alter our society, so on and so forth. This probably had a pretty profound effect on a lot of people. It did in some ways. We can show that because years later, they care enough to message about it. So when franchises do this, understand that, they're going to get criticism from the people who don't want anything to ever change, you know. But a lot of times they also get criticism from people who want things to change. But they look at these little changes, this little social commentary, this little addition, and they're like, performative. It's not doing any good. It does. It works. It works. Decades later, people still remember those messages. They become part of popular culture, and they shift views. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.